I hear you're asking all around if I'm anywhere to be found, but I have grown too strong to ever fall back in your arms. But I've learned to live half alive. Now you want me one more time. And who do you think you are? Running around leaving scars, collecting your jar of hearts and tearing love apart. You're gonna catch a cold. What's up? We're gonna do my first ever Q&A.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
With my wine. I'm not drunk, I swear. I asked you guys on Instagram if you had any questions for me, ask me anything, fitness, nutrition, personal, anything. And I got quite a few, 53 to be exact. And they were all like really good questions too. I am going to answer as many as I can. First question. How long did it take you to where you are now with bodybuilding? Okay, I'm gonna like rewind. In high school, I played soccer. I was everything soccer. I loved soccer. But our practice were usually in the evening after school for about 2 hours, I want to say, but weightlifting was not required. My gym class, I had to lift weights, but I hated it, and I usually would like hide in the corner or try to avoid the teacher. It was more of just a social hour for me. I didn't really take advantage of it, and we had a great trainer. It's a shame I never took advantage of him. But I didn't start lifting until my junior year of college. And that was now 2 years ago, a little bit more than that. So I started lifting my junior year of college. Freshman and sophomore year of college, I was just on the elliptical and on the treadmill and just kind of wandering around the gym, not really knowing what I was doing. I didn't really start lifting until my junior year of college. I hope that that answers your question. When did you graduate from college and what was your major? I graduated this past May and my major, wait for it, my major was journalism. Why? I don't know, don't ask me. I just figured since I love writing, why not be a journalism major? I personally regret it a little bit, because with what I want to do now and try to pursue my fitness career, it's a little bit difficult with a journalism degree. I like to think that I'm kind of using it when I'm writing my captions and when I'm communicating with people, because that's a lot of what I learned in journalism. I mean, even vlogging, we did so much camera work. So I do like to think that I am using it and that kind of my passion stems from that, but I really would have liked to get some kind of sports science, kinesiology, something sports related. I really wish that I would have done that instead. Best exercises that contribute to your boulder shoulders. Need help. Okay, the thing about shoulders is so many people say different things. Some people tell you, you know, volume. Some people will tell you only heavy lifting grows your shoulders. Personally, I like to lift heavy shoulders. So for like 10 minutes almost, I will just fire them up, warm them up, and then a lot of pressing. I felt that the more I did barbell work with shoulders, the more that they grow. So compound movements, overhead presses with the barbell, dumbbell overhead, like all of the compound movements, that's how I found that I could grow my shoulders. Of course, now I'm on a program and I'm doing a bunch of bench, and that is what helps grow your whole shoulder, honestly. But yeah, compound, heavy lifting, that is my advice to you. Go as heavy as you can without injuring yourself. Do you train abs? If so, how often? I don't train abs. I used to do them every day, like about a year ago, but The main reason for me why I would train abs is because I want them to assist in my main lift. So my squat, bench, and dead. It's important for me to have a strong core because if I don't, I will crumple and my lifts will be garbage. So I don't really train abs. I just kind of, I feel like when I'm doing my main lifts, when I'm squatting and deadlifting, I'm bracing, and that is working my core, if that makes sense. So I don't do ab exercises anymore. I may, but I don't really feel the need to because I feel like I have a really strong core. That's the only reason that I would work it out, is if I feel like I didn't have a strong core. So when and how did your fitness journey begin, and how do you stay motivated? Like I said, my fitness journey started about 2 years ago now. And how? I was a partier. Like, I mean, 4 nights a week, drinking till I was obliterated partier. I loved college. I enjoyed every single second of it. And I finally got to my senior year, because junior year I didn't take lifting as seriously. I just kind of started it, and I liked the way my body was changing, and I could still drink on the weekends but still look kind of decent. So I liked it junior year, but I didn't take it as seriously until my senior year. I kind of just had like an epiphany. I had like a switch. I wasn't happy with myself internally, mentally, whatever you want to call it. I was unhealthy. I had unhealthy habits. I ate everything in sight. I drank everything in sight, and I just didn't love myself. And honestly, I started to take lifting more seriously that summer going into my senior year. And my senior year, I almost cut out alcohol entirely. I would go out, but I wouldn't drink. I dropped my sorority. I mean, like, I had a complete life change. And when it comes to motivation, I don't really know how to answer these questions sometimes because I don't really have an answer to it. Honestly, I don't really have one motivation. I don't really believe in that being a thing to rely on to get you to the gym, because motivation is fleeting. It comes and it goes, and that is, you can't rely on something like that, something so fleeting, to be the main purpose to get you to a goal. I like to think that I just enjoy the crap out of it. I enjoy the way it makes me feel. I use it as like a mental kind of therapy for myself, honestly. And that's why, that is why I'm so obsessed, because it just gives me this mental clarity and it takes me away from the outside world. Like when I am lifting, I am in my own little world, in my zone. You can't stop me, man. You just can't. Where do I want to live, and do I want to have a family? That's a really good question. Mackenzie Panky. Okay, where do I want to live? Honestly, you know, everyone complains about the weather, but like, you know, I like seasons. I enjoy having seasons. Would I also enjoy just having warm weather all the time? Yes, of course. Do I want to move somewhere like Florida where it's beautiful and warm all the time? Yes, of course, but I don't really have somewhere that I'm dying to live right now. So I'm gonna have to go with stay where I am. But do I want a family? Absolutely. I want a family so bad. I have for so long. When I was dating my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend now, it was very much a reality for me. I think so much that it scared me. Now, seeing that I'm only 22 years old, I have so much time in the world to start a family, and I'm not looking to for another 8 years. I don't know. I'm not even dating anyone right now, so it's hard for me to say like, yes, I want a family right now, but in the future, oh, heck yeah. I want all the babies, at least 4. What are a few ways that you have found that have helped you the most with building a large following and a community of people? That's a really good question too. People ask me all the time, how did you grow your following? And nothing miraculous happened. I didn't go viral or do anything crazy that attracted a bunch of people to my page. I mean, some weeks are really slow in growth and some weeks are really fast in growth. It kind of just depends on my content and who's liking my pictures so I show up on other people's explore pages. Like the whole Instagram algorithm, I don't really personally understand, but I feel like most of all, I was just myself. I put real ass content out there and I showed the ups and the downs, and I'm just like an average chick. Like there's nothing super exciting about me. There's nothing super amazing about me. I'm not the strongest or the skinniest or the fittest. Like I'm not any of that, but I'm just very me. And I think that the people that follow me or watch me on YouTube or whatever it is that you do, that you know who I am, I feel like those people just like me for me. Yeah, I like to think that anyway, but I think that's how I kind of grew my following. People like realness, they like personality, they like faces, stuff like that. So, good question. How tall you is? I am 5'7.5", so I'm pretty freaking tall. What do you eat in a day? Well, everything. Wine. Just kidding. I have wine like maybe once a week. But I eat about 3,000 to 3,500 calories. It's a lot. That's a lot of freaking calories. And I'm bulking right now. I have been for the past 6 months. Yeah, it's been 6 months already that I've been bulking. And I kind of eat whatever I'm feeling like. Very much like 80% clean, 20% dirty, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. In the morning, sometimes I'll feel like I want oatmeal and egg whites, and then sometimes I feel like I want, you know, a breakfast sandwich. I don't know. It all kind of just depends what I'm feeling. I don't restrict myself by any means. So if I want a piece of cheesecake, like a small piece of cheesecake, I'm gonna fit it in my macros. As long as it fits my macros, I eat it. But I'm very into vegetables and fruits. Like I make sure I very much do all of that. So that is important, but it's kind of a hard question to answer. I'll probably do like a full day of eating for you guys because I know people love those. I love those too. I don't know why, but I'll try to do that for you guys to give you an idea, but it really varies every single day. I don't just follow a meal plan. I just kind of follow my macros. So how much do I weigh? The last time I weighed myself, which was about a week ago, I want to say I was 158 pounds. 5'7.5", 158 pounds. How long do you think one should bulk or build before they cut? That's a really good question. If you are just starting out and you've never lifted a weight in your life, but you want to lose weight, I highly suggest, because this was my mistake that I made when I first started lifting, I highly suggest you try to build your physique before you try to cut. When I first started out, I thought, I just want to be skinny and shredded. I just want to be skinny and shredded because that's what everyone wants to be, and that was the hype, and yeah, you know. But when I cut, I had little to no muscle. I mean, I was a stick. Yes, I had like a 12 pack. I was so skinny, but I had no muscle. It didn't feel good. I kind of felt like a string bean. I would just suggest that what was your question? How long do you think? It's kind of just how you feel, honestly. I would say 4 to 6 months of bulking. I know that's a really long time. It seems like it, but it goes by like this, and you're gonna love lifting heavy and eating all the noms, and yeah, 4 to 6 months. How do you feel becoming single semi-recently? How has that impacted your life and training? Woo! I've been single now for about 4 months. And this is weird, I've never talked about this, besides to my like best friend, but at first it was extremely hard. It completely impacted my training. I didn't go to the gym when it first happened for a couple weeks. And then I slowly started getting back into it. But I wasn't eating either. Not that I was starving myself to death, but I just had zero appetite. And I think things just kind of slowly, got better is not the right way to put it, because things are still not completely better for me. I just kind of said to myself, what's the point in sitting and crying and having a tantrum over it? I mean, that's not gonna fix anything. You need to be working on yourself because you're in a bad place and you need to get your ass to the gym. I'm very good at self-talk. Honestly, I am. I don't really need someone to, come on, let's go, you got this, because I know I freaking got it. So honestly, it's been 4 months and it still sucks, but it's okay to hurt. You're gonna hurt. You lose someone, you break up with someone, it freaking sucks. And I know it feels like the end of the world. Trust me, I was there, I still am there. Like, I get it, but that's life. And everyone and their freaking moms go through breakups. Everyone does. And everyone hurts and everyone just feels like death. I totally get it, I'm right there with you. But it's okay to hurt, and you have to accept that you're hurting, you have to accept that it's okay to hurt, and you have to mourn, because that's the only way that you're gonna get stronger and move on and feel better and, you know, get up and kick some booty. So I hope that answered. I feel like I'm just rambling, but this is already 17 minutes. Jeez. How many days a week do you train legs? Is it bad to train every other day or every 2 days? It's honestly as long as you can recover. I used to, when I was bodybuilding and not powerlifting, I trained legs 2 to 3 times a week, usually 3 times a week, because I really wanted to build my legs. As long as you don't feel sore and you're like pushing yourself really hard and then you give yourself at least a day rest, I would say as many times as you'd like, honestly. Where do I get my crop tops? There's like 4 likes on that one. Most of the shirts I wear are either like old t-shirts or something that I've cut, which is most of my crop tops, or just my tank tops are usually from Forever 21, Urban Outfitters, just really plain like cotton crop tops. They're like $12 at Forever. What is your guilty pleasure food and TV show? Rachel, my client, I love you. My guilty pleasure food would definitely have to be Lou Malnati's deep dish pizza. I could eat that for the rest of my life. But if I couldn't have that, it would be Pop-Tarts. I'm obsessed with those things. But no, that's a bad one because you guys already probably all know that. Cheese fries. I love potatoes and everything covered in cheese, so I'm gonna go with cheese fries. TV show, I can't pick. That's really, really hard. But I finished Sons of Anarchy and I loved the absolute crap out of it, so I'm gonna have to go with that one. Jax Teller, I love you. My favorite right now would have to be Black Mirror. There's just too many, you guys, too many. Why do people say eat to grow the booty? Because girl, all my food just goes straight to my belly, LOL. And what does sacrifice abs to get the booty mean too? I always see people on Insta saying both of these things. Okay. People say eat to grow the booty. Yeah, that is kind of a stupid thing to say. But they're kind of saying that to mean the more calories you eat, the more muscle you grow. Everyone carries fat differently. Everyone distributes fat in their body differently. I carry a lot of fat in my lower half. Some may say that's lucky. I personally don't think so. It takes me a really long time to lose fat on my legs and butt, which is really frustrating sometimes. Some people carry fat in their stomach. I never really have. I guess I just have like a longer torso and my fat just kind of doesn't hold there. That's what that means. Some people just, yeah, carry, you said all your food goes straight to your belly. Some people just carry fat there more, especially women in their lower stomach region and their hips and their butt. That's just where women carry most of their fat. Sacrifice abs to get a booty. That just means when you're cutting, you're gonna lose your butt, but you're gonna have a smaller stomach or a flatter stomach. But if you're bulking, you might have a bigger stomach, so you're sacrificing your abs and your butt might grow. Yeah, it's really stupid when you say it out loud, but that's what those mean. How long do you work out for each day? I work out for about, my powerlifting sessions, so on my squat, bench, and deadlift day, are a little bit longer. I want to say like an hour and a half to sometimes 2 hours. So on a leg day especially, I only do legs twice a week. My squat and my bench, my squat and my deadlift day. Those are the 2 days I do legs. Those usually go for about 2 hours. A squat day usually a little bit longer. But on average, I would say like my upper body days about an hour. I don't work out for that long. I used to stay in the gym for like 3 hours a session, which was just ridiculous and a waste of time, honestly, because you do not need to be in the gym for 3 hours a day to see results. I promise you that. Quickest way to lose fat in your midsection and get abs. There is no quick way, and you can't spot lose fat. So you can't say, I'm gonna do abs, I wanna get a smaller stomach. It doesn't work that way. You have to eat in a caloric deficit in order to lose overall body fat, because that is the only way that you will see your abs. We all have abs. Like, I have a 12-pack under here too, but we just have fat covering them. So when you eat in a caloric deficit and you're losing fat, you can see your abs. How do you talk yourself out of nighttime snacking? I eat so well all day, and then after dinner I always want chocolate or a small sweet, and I was wondering how to go about it properly to talk yourself out of it the right way. Okay, this is a tricky question to answer because I personally am also a nighttime eater. Like, I get really hungry at night. I'm not super hungry. I mean, I'm hungry all the time, let's be real. But I'm not super hungry in the morning. It's mainly just at night that I get really freaking hungry. So what I do is I like to eat a little bit lighter throughout the day. And at night, I'll have like a bowl of oatmeal with chocolate chips. So I'm not depriving myself. And especially at night, I want my carbs. And just because you have carbs at night doesn't mean you're gonna be larger and get fat, and that whole can't eat after 9 p.m. thing is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You can eat whenever you damn want. At the end of the day, it's how many calories were consumed, so it doesn't make a difference if I have my chocolate in the middle of the day or at night. It doesn't make a difference. Eat the frickin' chocolate. What are good foods to eat while trying to gain muscle? You can eat anything and gain muscle. You don't have to eat a specific something to gain muscle, just like you don't have to eat a specific something to lose weight. It's about the amount you're eating. So if you want to gain muscle, you need to be eating in a caloric surplus. So you need to be eating more than you're burning in order to grow muscle. What made you want to start CrossFit? I actually don't do CrossFit. I do powerlifting, and it's only been about a year that I've done powerlifting, so it's still really new to me. I just started with a coach, my coach Steve Johnson, we've been together like a little over 2 months now. So yeah, I'd say that I haven't really taken it seriously besides these past 2 months. So it's still pretty new to me. And why did I start it? Because I freaking love being strong, and I see these badass bitches like squatting 375 pounds, and I'm like, damn, I want to be that. One day I will get there, I promise you. Okay, what is my split looking like currently? So I have a bench day, a squat day, and a deadlift day, and then 2 other days are back accessory and like shoulder accessory, pretty much. So that's what my 5-day split looks like. Where have I gained my information about nutrition? Besides taking a weight loss and nutrition course through NASM, as well as getting my NASM certification, I've honestly just researched a ton in it, and I've also always kind of been into nutrition and health, and my parents have always been pretty healthy. Growing up, they never cooked anything bad. It was always very staple, protein, carb, vegetable. Like, they were always very higher fat proteins, but that's kind of where my basis came from, and I always liked the way eating well balanced made me feel. So I guess I just kind of, a lot of YouTube videos and reading up on it, and you don't have to go to school for it. You don't have to be this all-knowing expert on nutrition to be able to give other people advice. I don't believe that at all, by any means. Best way to transition macros or calories from cutting to bulking? That's also a really good question. I would suggest, if you're cutting and you are looking to bulk, it's important that you reverse diet, because if you don't reverse diet and you go from eating, let's say 1,300 calories, just the next day, bam, 3,000 calories, the likelihood of you gaining fat is pretty high. So I suggest you slowly reverse diet by possibly adding 50 carbs, 25 to 50 more carbs each week, and a month from then you're gonna be up by like, I don't do math, but you kind of get my point. You want to slowly add in carbs, fats. I usually, from a cut, depending on how big the cut is, I usually keep my protein. My stupid ass memory was full. Oh. These Florida squirrels are frickin' crazy. Okay. I think that's not where I had it. Is that where I had it? Did I have it farther? I feel like my head wasn't cut off before. What did I do? What did I do? I gotta get a new tripod because I fucked up a leg on this too. Whatever, this is gonna have to do because my memory is still pretty full. Anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about transition. Right. So my protein still stays the same pretty much. I keep like a consistent protein, but if I'm cutting like really low and my calories are really low, that's the only time that my protein is really changes, honestly. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more. There's just too many, and this is also already a really long video. Last question, it's a doozy, it's a good one. Let's answer it. How to prevent binging. So I just did a post on this on Instagram, and you know, I got a lot of people that it resonated with a lot. I used to pretty bad struggle with binge eating. It is a demon in itself, it really is. My biggest tip to you guys would be, don't restrict yourselves. Don't restrict yourselves from eating the foods that you love. Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. When you restrict food, I can't take this seriously. Okay guys, work with me here, sorry. Changes are not gonna happen overnight. They take a long time. I had really bad binging episodes almost about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, and they still come back to haunt me sometimes. I still get the feeling that I'm going to and the cravings, and I honestly dealt with it pretty well the other day. I lowered my macros, like I said, a little bit this week because it was deload for me and I wasn't really lifting too much. Food is fuel. You have to look at it that way. You can't connect mental and physical feelings to food. You just need to eat it because it fuels your body, and you need to think of it that way. You gotta separate the two, because I think for me, food was bringing me so much happiness. Food was making me feel whole and warm and happy and excited, and you can't do that. You need to connect happiness to other things like people and spending time with people and doing things that you love. You can't connect that happiness to eating a certain food. You just can't. I think that is also a big one. Don't connect your emotions when you're eating food. Another one is, when you are eating your meals and you are cutting and you are hungry, focus on the food in front of you. Don't, watch TV while you're scarfing down your food. Eat the food, enjoy the food, think about the food. I think that was a big one for me, because I used to just sit there in front of the TV or watching a YouTube video and I would just be eating and I'd be like, oh wait, I just finished all of that? These changes are gonna take time. Don't expect to wake up one day and tell yourself, I'm not gonna binge anymore because I'm ready to turn over a new leaf. I tried, it doesn't work that way. You're gonna get defeated, you're gonna feel like crap, it's gonna happen over and over again, and that's okay, that's normal, because everybody is going through that, everyone is dealing with that. So don't let that get you down, don't feel defeated because of that. You just gotta wake up the next day and look at it as a new day, fresh slate. Like, you are woken up every morning and you are given a fresh start. Like, that's an amazing, amazing thing. You really want chocolate? My biggest advice to you, eat it. Eat a piece of it. Don't deprive yourself of it, because when you deprive yourself of it is when you're gonna want it more. It's natural for your body to want chocolate cake when you're depriving it of all of these carbs. If you're gonna be eating 100 carbs a day, then you're gonna want sugar. That's just normal, that's just natural. So, don't get down on yourself about it. Just every day, take little steps to be a healthier you. That's honestly my advice. I hope that I answered your question. I hope I answered everybody's question. The sun is almost completely set, so I'm gonna head out, and my camera keeps shutting down because it says it's too hot. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hoped I answered your questions. I'll probably do another one like this because I don't think I even answered half of them. I didn't realize how long I talked for. So love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.